apa membezakan kita kan bila kita graduate dekat uni luar negara dengan graduate di uni Malaysia?
Macam di luar negara, sometimes orang macam pandang lah, and they get looked at, right? Maybe historically, maybe macam it's the stigma in Malaysia or not, and for good or for worse. But I really think end of the day, what comes down to it is the person in an interview, the person wants to hire the person, not the degree they have.
Obviously kita both study uni Adelaide lah, dekat uni Adelaide. Myself memang daripada Malaysia, purposely apply. I think my SPM was not that good, 7A kan, like I mentioned before, and I have to do diploma kan, sambung study sini diploma. Diploma finish and then study sini degree lah. And then memang eager lah kan, of course. I think a lot of people pun eager untuk study overseas, and kalau dapat opportunity memang akan grab lah. So bila sampai sini memang okay, wow dan sebagainya, best ke study overseas, memang best lah.
Sadly, Adelaide Uni is not in the top 100 lately.
Oh yeah, dah turun.
But it's about 105 in the world.
Oh, okay.
In Australia, it's top 8.
Top 8, yeah.
Overall, usually around 7 or 8. It's not top 100.
Yang first apa? ANU
It keeps rotating, but I think it's between ANU, UMELB, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you see it as well. They keep rotating, but usually ANU and UNIMELB are at the top too.
Do you know macam mana dia orang
that's
kira?
also an interesting question. So, but obviously there's different ranking methods and different organizations that give ranking, and some of them merit more on research performance, right? Citations, publications, whatnot. Some less on teaching, some more. They have different indicators, so it's not really clear cut all of the rankings lah. Tapi a lot of it is to do with research as well, you can see.
Yeah.
But
even waktu I apply pun, I apply ke TIN, Uni Adelaide dengan Uni SA. And obviously when I got Uni SA, sponsor tak nak, doesn't say anything lah kan. I wonder lah why kan, macam kenapa dia orang macam diam dan sebagainya. And alhamdulillah I got offer Uni Adelaide. And as soon as I got Uni Adelaide, within couple of weeks I think terus dapat offer letter.
I think also another big factor is history, right? Or reputation is built upon history. So Uni Adelaide has been around for more than 100 years, since 1800s I think. Uni SA only since 1990 plus lah,
baru
like
lah.
that. Yeah, baru. Before that they were college, technical college. Now so then they became a uni. So that's why their reputation isn't as grand, right? And their focus, they don't have much research focus as well, because they came from a technical college now to a university lah. And obviously some of us don't know this because we go to uni just to do a degree and whatnot. Tapi a lot of the industry, it's pushed by the research that's done by lecturers and whatnot. That's really what drives the university rankings a lot more lah, not really the teaching.
So means means kalau macam kita daripada Malaysia, that's why I think this benefit untuk orang kat Malaysia nak pilih uni, of course.
Right.
Okay, kena ambil nombor 1, nombor 2 kan, top 8. But for me, when I came here kan, bila macam you cakap tadi kan, at the end of the day dia ranking because of research. It doesn't matter pun kalau kita balik Malaysia, you can get that degree kan. I think not really much different in terms of how and what is your ranking for your university.
I think especially for a student like me and you who just want to come and do a degree, it's what is important or good about having high ranking unis is that obviously that means they have good researchers, and the researchers means they should be able to teach better and whatnot lah. But that doesn't always translate, because sometimes you have the case where they've got good lecturers that publish a lot, but sometimes that means they focus too much on publishing, they don't focus on teaching lah. So when it comes to uni, right, some people are really particular. Like I know some people who lived in Adelaide and then macam pindah interstate because they want a better uni, and that's fine obviously.
I think myself lah, even my dad say lah, look Faiz, as a Malaysian kan, bila kita pergi belajar overseas, yelah uni situ of course kita tak nak membezakan antara uni luar negara lagi bagus daripada Malaysia. Of course diorang ada certain diorang punya advantage kan dekat sini. Mungkin diorang lebih lebih macam you cakap lah, lebih lama kan. Kadang-kadang diorang even before kita merdeka diorang dah ada universiti. So that actually ada benefit untuk diorang jugalah, untuk research, dah ada pengalaman, dah ada experience. So for myself, I don't choose ranking lah kan. I want to find something yang balance, you know. Like yes, study one thing, of course degree important, education. Tapi at the same time, the other thing yang I nak cari juga, which is experience dekat sini, and cost of living pun is actually big part of decision juga. Sebab kalau you stress and you struggle, you duduk dekat tempat yang yang expensive. Sekarang ni kan isu student-student sini banyak yang overseas student, dia mental health lah kan, banyak faktor lah kan. Of course stress kan, dengan dia punya susahnya dan sebagainya. Mungkin faktor financial juga, terpaksa kerja dan sebagainya. Itu pun main faktor yang penting juga. So I think that one of the reason I think university itself, alhamdulillah lah, pilihlah mana-mana yang recognised. Yang paling penting untuk Malaysian, recognised by Malaysian punya body. Sebab dekat sini banyak actually university, university satu hal, ada juga yang macam college yang yang kecil-kecil kan. So itu pun bahaya juga kalau you just tak kisah masuklah mana-mana kan. Bahaya juga.
So I think that's a really good point you brought up lah, about the whole concept of you want a balanced place, right? And I think that's something that really should be a priority, which would help the whole experience, because as you said lah, a degree is a degree.
Betul.
As long as it's recognised, is what's important. The ranking doesn't help ridiculously much lah, especially about overseas students. So we can give some examples lah. Contoh kalau macam you're an international student, you want the best uni, so you go and live in Canberra lah. And you're gonna get the best uni, tapi Canberra sini gila. Canberra sini gila.
I think satu masjid ke dua masjid,
dua masjid,
3 kedai kebab,
10 orang Malaysia, student Malaysia.
that's it.
So macam you go there, you live there, and you're gonna get the best degree. Tapi are you gonna be able to build the best experience around yourself lah? Sebab in the end of the day, when you get your degree is a degree.
Betul.
But if you don't have the whole university experience that really builds you, then what's the benefit? And I think studying overseas, you probably know more than me, tapi you really want to make sure you get the experience that you can't get in Malaysia.
Exactly.
And especially another example is Sydney. They've got really top unis there.
Yeah.
But the living conditions for Malaysian students are so tough. They have to, like 8 people in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Right? Last time kita pergi Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh man, diorang punya satu rumah, I think dia punya sewa lebih sikit daripada Adelaide. Tapi 9 orang, 8 orang dalam satu rumah. And satu bilik 3 orang, kadang 4 orang.
And then for them, right, if they want to get involved in local community stuff like Muslim community, it's so far, like 1 hour from the uni just to get to like the Muslim areas. Tapi look, obviously we're biased because we live in Adelaide. Tapi
sponsored by
study Adelaide. but for example, in Adelaide, uni Adelaide's not the world ranking. Tapi we've got so many opportunities for us to live comfortably with the cost of living. And also to get involved in different things. Getting around the city is easy, public transport is easy, cost of living, everything is great.
Yeah.
So I think definitely if someone wants to come and study in Australia or any country, instead of just looking up the university ranking, which is important, make sure it's recognised, but also get an idea of the cost of living, transport, how far things are from each other, right? And then I think that would really help out someone to have the best experience they can.
Kifli, I think I'm not judging, but I would say based on experience borak dengan student kat sini yang datang sini, yang pilih kenapa pilih Melbourne, kenapa pilih Adelaide, kenapa pilih Sydney. And most of the people yang pilih this of big city kan, whatever lah city apa-apa di negara-negara mana-mana pun, big city because of the vibe of the city. Itu yang you have to really think about you're gonna spend 3 years minimum, 4 years minimum dekat satu city yang it's not about enjoyment, because as a student it's up and down, like sometimes you stress, you homesick, macam-macam.
Like when you're studying for exam week, you really care about the vibe of the city at that point, But alright, teaching might be the same over the board, because at the end of the day you use the same textbook as whatever country, right? But I think in Adelaide, what I really found pretty valuable is the facilities they have is really top notch lah. Some areas more than others. I know the medical and dental facilities are really good
Yeah.
at Uni Adelaide.
Yang susah nak lepas pun.
Yeah. Tak pernah masuk the new areas. The business school is also pretty solid.
Yep.
So I think those kind of experience are really great from, you know, international uni. So what do you think about that?
Setujulah dengan Kifi punya pendapat kan. At the end of the day, university is university, you know. Sometimes kat sini kan, funny thing, dia orang bergaduh tau, you know. Uni Adelaide gaduh dengan Uni SA, gaduh dengan TAFE, you know. I don't know kat Malaysia, I tak tahu ada UM gaduh dengan, ada ke macam tu?
I don't know.
UKM gaduh dengan UM ke, UM gaduh dengan apa, UIA ke?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe diorang boleh komen ke apa kan, I tak sure lah. Tapi dekat sini memang diorang gaduh lah.
Yeah.
Ada satu group yang memang duk bash that uni. And then itulah I nak drag away from that, you know, university punya, okay, I'm from here, you know, Uni Adelaide. Macam bangga, macam education tadi macam macam contoh Adelaide, dia city uni. So it's a vibe like macam cool, which is you in the city, yeah. Macam orang boleh masuk, macam all building, new building, all building combined together, macam very nice kan. Tapi weakness dia pula, dia punya facility in term of student sports.
Yeah.
Nak compare dengan universiti lain kan. Kalau you nak compare dengan apa, I don't know, Sydney kan, dia punya Uni SW, dia punya dia own. Even Uni SA ada dia punya swimming pool, all that kind of stuff kan. So if you compare that facility, I think it's not enough lah. Sebab always every year dia akan improve, akan tukar, and then itulah. Tapi I rasa yang paling, ni lah pendapat myself kan, kita fokus pada student Malaysia yang datang sini kan. Apa persoalan yang kita boleh tanya diri kan, apa membezakan kita kan bila kita graduate dekat uni luar negara dengan graduate di uni Malaysia kan? Kenapa kita nak kena keluar negara? What do you think?
I definitely think there's a macam CD luar negara, sometimes orang macam pandang lah, and they get looked at, right? Maybe historically, maybe macam it's the stigma in Malaysia or not, and for good or for worse. But I really think end of the day, what comes down to it is the person in an interview, the person wants to hire the person, not the degree they have. So maybe the degree will get you looked at. Tapi if that's all that is there, then I think that's really not gonna be the best like macam job market punya helper lah. So, but if someone studies overseas and then they really make the most out of the experience, then that's gonna be a really solid resume, right? Because they studied overseas, they get looked at from that angle, and then also they've got all of these experiences that other people definitely cannot get, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. So
kalau you tanya I kan, one of the big reason kenapa I nak pergi overseas, especially Australia ke UK ke US, obviously I wanted to improve my English lah.
Yeah.
I really want to improve my English.
Right.
I really want to improve my confidence level, my social skills kan. And then you know, sometimes dekat Malaysia kalau you speak English, if you're Malay friend, ada lagi lah that stigma, apa benda ni cakap English kan. So this is one of the option lah when I fly here and I came here, so that I really want to grab that lah. So I really want to grab that, and alhamdulillah kan, memang I betul-betul fokus untuk improve lah. So bagi myself, kalau you Malaysian student yang datang overseas, 3-4 years you spend time here, kalau you tak improve your punya English, I think you miss a lot of opportunity.
Because just imagine like 3-4 years going back, and the degree, obviously it's a great achievement to do a degree, tapi end of the day macam what makes yourself bring value to the company you want to work in, to anyone who wants to employ you lah, right? It's all of those skills that you have, the person you are, and to build yourself as a person, it's not the degree, because end of the day it's just reading textbook, studying semua,
and jawab exam 2 jam, dah study 6 months and then jawab exam for 2 hours. I think that's actually benda yang I tak setuju. That's why my course media, we been
project based kan?
Project based, yes. So kita punya, you know, every week you have to deliver something. Tapi anyway, that's education punya yang sometimes I rasa I tak agree juga. Like, look, you study, maybe you perform 6 months for one semester, and then you've been judged for 2 hours.
Maybe if you had a bad morning or something.
Yeah. If you sakit perut that time. I'm serious lah kan.
I remember as well, one time we were in the exam hall. It was doing our exam, and the exam hall is quiet, right? It's a huge exam hall, for anyone who doesn't know, here in Wayville, in the showground. It's like a warehouse kind of thing. It's meant to be quiet, obviously. And one time, because it's in the Adelaide Showground, and usually at that time there's no one else using it. The Adelaide Showground has like different sections.
Yep.
There was a motorbike show going outside, so it was just so quiet that all of a sudden you just hear a motorbike, you're like, "Rrrr." And it was a solid like 20 minutes during the exam, and I would think
20 minutes?
yeah,
Constant?
constant of that sound, and I was at the side of the hall that was close to where it was going on. So, just 2 hours of 20 minutes. It was just so okay. I wasn't affected, but you can imagine.
Yeah, of course.
Someone was affected by that.
You know, kadang dalam exam kan, you jawab, you dah hafal dah,
Yeah.
was a formula, whatever lah kan, you dah hafal. Tiba you pergi, Allah tak izinkan you dapat that, you know, that's all. Kadang-kadang orang macam dia nampak dia punya usaha, oh kena study. Yes, usaha yang one thing, doa dan semua tu usaha.
Betul.
Kadang, you know, it's rezeki and everything. I have a lot of story kat sini.
Tapi I think this is a different topic.
Yeah, we get to next episode.
Next episode
I
lah.
have a lot of experience. I mean, bad, the up and down macam-macam ada kat sini. Tapi okay, back to the topic of study kat luar negara ni kan. I nampak lah kan, I tak kata majority kan. I nampak kadang student Malaysian kat sini datang sini, you study sini, you mingle dengan kawan-kawan Malaysian Malay sahaja. You know, I think very sad to say lah. And then you know, you study group you pun orang Melayu juga ke orang Malaysia juga, and then you not really improving kan. Lepas tu you look, that's why I cakap kan, kalau you study overseas tapi you tak betul-betul ambil opportunity, like involve with the community, involve dengan volunteer, involve dengan benda-benda yang very very good for your skills, I think it's no point. Baik you belajar Malaysia, even Malaysia pun you can get better with if you involve. Sebab kadang-kadang Kifli, sad to say, I have to say this I have to say this because senior, I pun nak balik dah kan. I pun nak balik dah. I have to say this, apa yang tengok sini mungkin lah kan, you study overseas, you letak you punya mind, you punya goal, letak 1, 2, 3, 4. I ada 10 goals yang I letak untuk before I balik I have to achieve all this kan. So kadang-kadang student dia I know some of them datang sini young, 20, 21, 19 even, you know, datang sini dia orang rasa macam wow, memang best negara apa, you know, environment experience very very different from Malaysia and cuaca dan sebagainya. Tapi sad to say kadang study pun tak betul-betul, you know, like you hilang fokus, involve dengan game ke apa benda whatever lah kan. Lepas tu you pergi and then pergi uni balik. Actually it's not from myself ada seorang brothers Muslim we have a chat, you know, Sheikh kat sini dia kata, look Faiz, what happened to the Muslim for the Malaysian student? I didn't even see them in the mosque. They said to me, I didn't see them in the mosque. I saw a couple of people of course, but I knew a lot of Malaysian here. Kenapa, apa jadi? I mean, not apa jadilah. I say look, that's what we try to, you know, every student overseas ni, we try to provide them good platform untuk dia orang somehow untuk mendekatkan diri pada Allah. Sebab you dekat overseas, maybe this is very nice episode yang kita boleh touch kan. Duduk luar negara ni kan, it's very tough as a Muslim if you're not really around surrounding with good people. Itu yang point yang I nak cerita lah, which is if you go overseas, you just pergi uni balik, movie ke game whatever kan, just tu je you punya life, I think a waste of money and time lah.
Yeah, definitely. So, and I think one thing that is often forgotten, especially because sometimes, alhamdulillah, we have the blessings to be sponsored. Tapi it costs so much money to come and study here, the degree. Obviously you can talk about the UDs trying to extort money. I know some of my friends like to talk about that. Tapi end of the day, okay, it's a lot of money. You've got that blessing, and you've got all the opportunities here. And I'll tell you something, just to all of the students who might be wondering, okay, how do we get involved in community? The opportunities come at you left, right and center. If you even watch your uni emails, they always email about volunteering opportunities, about they have like mentor buddy systems where you can contact someone to speak with you, like to practice your English. Even macam Malaysian students ada je kat sini yang you can start by getting involved in. So all of these opportunities come at you, and the degree costs so much for you to even be here and all of the expenses. So why not take the opportunity?
Exactly.
It's a responsibility upon you, especially if it's a responsibility upon you, especially if you have been blessed with this opportunity. So it's just something that, hopefully anyone who has the opportunity to fly overseas can sort of take the opportunity lah to just take all of it, because you're already in such a blessed position. And I think just maybe one of the things that is the reason why a lot of this happens is because, as you mentioned, you had goals that you want to achieve, but a lot of the time the goal is to fly overseas, which is a great goal. But then when it stops there and there's no next plan, yeah, that's where sometimes when you've arrived, maybe before you were an excellent student, and then things can go downhill from there lah.
Sometimes orang pergi overseas and just nak berjalan lah sebenarnya. which is okay.
Which is part of it. You're here, why not?
Of course. And then I say you should.
Yeah.
You have to I mean dalam Quran pun Allah cakap kan, pergilah mengembara pergi mana sana sini kan, untuk kita experience, kita tengok. Kita tengok macam mana orang kat sini kan. Apa, what is good here, what is bad here. Apa benda yang baik di luar negara ni kita boleh bawa balik Malaysia untuk improve our country. That's the point sebenarnya.
Yeah.
And so you think okay, oh, I think I need to implement this kat Malaysia. And kita always complain about Malaysia. Oh, Malaysia macam ni. And sometimes orang datang Malaysia, orang datang Aussie kan, tengok Aussie,
saya dulu bila duduk Aussie best macam ni.
Oh, tengok Aussie sistem dia bagus, tengok macam ni. Yeah. Okay, dah bagus. You bawa balik Malaysia, you improve lah.
That's right.
You cannot complain if someone just talking. Tak boleh. And then kita yang young generation yang keluar overseas ni, actually a lot of people yang dalam yang bantu Malaysia, actually CEO Petronas, I think dia Uni Adelaide kan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I know Bank Negara Malaysia punya chairperson right now Uni SA.
You know, sometimes Chinese student mainland diorang datang sini, diorang tak boleh cakap English tau. You know lah, I struggle tau dengan diorang. I mean, korang nak buat study work, okay, study group, and then sekali yang kelakarnya I ada 3 orang China from mainland, and myself Malaysia lah. Dia tak jadi study group, dia jadi macam translation punya session. Kita bincang satu benda.
Okay.
Diorang cakap in Mandarin lah, and then I cakap in English. And then bila I tanya kat kawan dia cakap macam ni. And then diorang lepas 4 tahun, English diorang punya English after 3-4 years, diorang present confident level. Kita orang Malaysia kan yang datang sini kan, English kita not bad, you know, like first year, tapi macam first year, second year, third year, fourth year macam sama je.
Yeah.
Tak ada improvement. Diorang daripada tak boleh nak cakap sangat, and of course benda tu bukan diorang first language macam kita lah kan. Tapi last year, final year, diorang punya presentation superb.
Yep. I think one thing that surprises a lot of students is the fact that here, especially it also surprises students that come from high school into university, like me, right, when I came from high school. But especially for Malaysian students, sini kan is so independent, because uni memang tak kisah about you. They don't care about you.
You just care about your money.
They will not. The lecturer doesn't know your name. Most of the, especially about first year courses, it's like 600 students sometimes in some of the commerce. So they actually don't know your name. Tapi all of the assignments semua, they will post about it. They'll email everyone about it, but no one's gonna chase you up about it lah. So you have to really be organized about that. And one of the things even that surprises a lot of people is that lecture, well obviously now online, tapi even before that, lecture tak wajib attend, and online recording semua ada dari dulu. So you can imagine how tempting that is for someone macam all this freedom to just study, to just not go to lectures, no one's gonna care, and then to watch it all online. Tapi end of the day you don't watch it until the exam week, and then macam jadi macam tu lah.
Yeah, that's bahaya.
So one thing about studying here, keep on the game with your own responsibility lah, right? No one's gonna chase you up, and that's something that I think a lot of us had to learn the hard way. Tapi you know, dekat Malaysia different. Okay, I study di Malaysia diploma and spoon feeding lah, which is in a way bad and good. My lecturer kenal I, very supportive, very helpful. But here, whatever. Only now when I'm in honours year, 4th year, because they only take 11 of us out of the previous. So now we pun dah macam rapat dengan lecturers, and now only like start to talk to lecturers more. Macam before this, was undergrad, rarely ever you speak to your lecturers lah. Only sometimes if you're rajin, after the end of class, sometimes you might just ask a question or two or whatnot lah. So that's something that really is different. I think a lot of people have told me it's different to Malaysia. So just be on top of that. The responsibility is on yourself to stay up to date with studies lah.
Commercial skill sangat penting lah dekat overseas ni. If you don't really, kalau you malu-malu untuk tanya dan sebagainya, you susah. You very susah nak survive. So I think that's it. Untuk kita punya, I don't know if not cover. If someone want to ask something, ask dalam question,
definitely
dalam comment, we can answer. Mungkin kita tak dapat nak cover semua kan.
Tapi always hit us up with any questions, and you know where to find us on Instagram, and our full videos on Spotify and YouTube. Catch us there,
InsyaAllah. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.